Right now this morning, high-stakes Wisconsin visits. Democratic stars rally for Harris Walz in Wisconsin. Up next, breaking down the key campaign stops. And Lace Up Lacrosse, a new outdoor paradise, is coming to the area, but organizers need your help. We'll share the details ahead.
Plus, it's a weather alert day until 9 a.m. this morning for a freeze warning that is in play. Local temperatures could feel like 26 to 30 degrees, and that is expected. I'll have more coming up in your quick cast.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Tuesday, October 15th. The moon is out, shining bright this morning, and it's also pretty cold, isn't it?
It is pretty cold out there. In fact, if you're going to get to check out the moon, you're going to need a couple of jackets out there, some gloves and a hat. Yeah, temperatures have jumped or skipped right over the frost advisory, and now we have the freeze warning in play. This will continue as we go through the morning hours, as you can see, till 9 a.m. It also includes southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa, and in fact it's only for west and southern portions of this area as well. Not so much for Eau Claire, not so much for Ladysmith, and then you can see it backs off once you get into Black River Falls as well. Sparta's kind of near that, and then over in Vogue Field that's backed off as well. So it is cold out there. Let's show you how cold it is. There are the temperatures across the main portion of the area here, but once you get into the region locally, we are looking at temperatures in the 30s and the 40s. It looks like La Crosse has maybe dropped a degree or so once we went into this new hour, and the winds are fairly light right now, but they'll be a little bit gusty as we go through the day. We'll also see that it will feel much cooler on your skin. Right now it feels like we're in the 20s. Winona feels like it's 28. La Crosse feels like it's 30. You get into Eau Claire, it feels like it's 27 or 26 degrees out there. The fog and low cloud activity is with us. It's 10 miles visibility, but you can see as we go through the morning hours, it's going to stay with us as we go right into the 10 o'clock hour. So bear that in mind. As you can see, most of it kind of skedaddling over into areas by the Mississippi River and over into Minnesota. That being said, we've got some rainfall over there across Lake Michigan, and it's only going to be about maybe 1/100 of an inch or so over there by Oshkosh. I'll have more about this coming up for you in a bit.
VP candidate Tim Walz back on the campaign trail in Eau Claire yesterday, encouraging voter turnout among college-aged Wisconsinites. News 8 Now's Allison Fergott was there and has the story.
Governor Tim Walz was joined by Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar and Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin to tell UW Eau Claire students to get out and vote. With important Senate races and a presidential election right around the corner, Democrats are focusing on western Wisconsin, specifically the area's young voters. Young voters are an important demographic for Democrats. Among likely voters ages 18 to 29, Vice President Kamala Harris holds a 31-point lead over former President Donald Trump. But it can be an issue to get young people to vote. Reportedly, only half of 18 to 29-year-olds actually cast a ballot.
We think when more people vote, that's a better thing. When more people get access to the ballot box and when more people are engaged, then your government looks more like the people they represent and we get better policies.
And in their push to improve youth voter turnout, Democrats are appealing to the power of peer-to-peer connections. Following his event here at UW Eau Claire, Governor Walz headed to Green Bay for a political event he has scheduled with Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. Reporting in Eau Claire, Allison Fergott, News 8 Now.
And Wiz GOP Chairman Schimming fired back in a statement, slamming Walz as an out-of-touch Vikings fan trying to cover for Harris's weak record. U.S. Senators Tammy Baldwin and Amy Klobuchar, you may have seen them in that video there, they invited voters to a meet and greet in Trempealeau County. The pair stopped at a family-owned farm in Osseo as part of Baldwin's Working for Our Families tour. They emphasized the stakes of the upcoming election and the importance of western Wisconsin's votes, while also addressing plans to fight for women's reproductive rights and battle inflation. Baldwin says rising prices especially impact people who rely on Social Security.
I was raised by my grandparents. I saw at an early age the meaningful difference that Social Security and Medicare made in our family's lives. And I will promise you that I'm fighting to make it stronger and solvent for generations to come.
Baldwin is one of the candidates participating in debates this week. She'll face off against GOP candidate Eric Hovde in Madison Friday night. State Senate District 32 candidates Brad Pfaff and Stacey Klein will face off at UWL tomorrow at 2:30. Both debates will be broadcast on 8.2 and stream on News8000.com and our app. Jill Biden rallied voters in Madison yesterday, part of the Democrats' campaign push in the battleground state of Wisconsin. The First Lady addressed supporters at the Capitol, promoting the Harris-Walz campaign's vision. She emphasized the importance of voter turnout and highlighted the campaign's position on reproductive health care freedoms.
As president, Kamala Harris will proudly sign a national law to restore reproductive freedom to every woman in every state of our country.
The Democratic Blitz of Wisconsin will continue Thursday when Kamala Harris visits La Crosse, Milwaukee, and Green Bay. And Schimming also released a statement in response to the First Lady's campaign stop, slamming the administration's economic policies, citing inflation's impact on Wisconsin families. He argued the visit highlights voters' concerns about 4 more years under the current leadership. Today, the top presidential candidates will continue their swing through multiple battleground states. Vice President Harris is in Michigan, while former President Trump will hit an economic event in Illinois before rallying in Georgia. Both candidates made a rare same-day, same-state appearance in Pennsylvania yesterday. CBS's Jared Hill reports.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump put the focus on Pennsylvania Monday while addressing top issues like the economy.
We're going to get interest rates brought way down.
Under our plan, we will lower the cost on everything from health care to groceries.
In Erie, Harris took swipes at Trump over a comment he made over the weekend, suggesting that the military handle political rivals, which he referred to as the enemy from within, on Election Day.
Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged.
At his town hall in the town of Oaks, cut short after multiple attendees fainted, Trump courted suburban women.
When millions of people pour into our country, they're having a devastating effect on Black families and Hispanic families more than any others.
Harris has unveiled new proposals aimed at shoring up support from a key voting bloc, Black men.
Black men are no different from anybody else. They expect that you have to earn their vote. And that's why I'm out here doing the work that I'm doing.
Yesterday, she kicked off a series of Black media interviews and led a conversation at a Black-owned business.
Meanwhile, the race is taking an unexpected turn as health becomes a hot topic. More than 200 medical professionals calling on Trump to release his medical records. Harris has already shared her health details and is echoing that call, but Trump is dismissing the request, claiming he's in better health than his rivals and predecessors. Vice President Kamala Harris is set to participate in a radio town hall with host Charlemagne the God in Detroit today. During the hour-long conversation, she'll answer questions from callers. An estimated 139 radio stations in markets across the country will take the program. It'll be available on multiple digital streams and the iHeartRadio app. And former President Trump will take part in a town hall hosted by Fox News tomorrow. That'll be in Georgia, and the entire audience will be women. The network says the main focus will be issues impacting women and news of the day. The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news. Microsoft settles an antitrust lawsuit. Starbucks is cutting back on promotional offers. And Burger King and Hidden Valley Ranch collaborating on a big dip cup.
If you're considering booking a trip, fall offers lower prices. I'm Wendy Gillette in Perth, Australia with hot deals and the best time to book for the holidays.
And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. They're adorable, playful, and highly effective diplomats. 2 giant pandas from China are arriving at the Smithsonian National Zoo in Washington today. Li is a male whose name means precious vigor. His mother is a former National Zoo celebrity, and his grandparents lived there for 23 years. His female companion's name is Qingbo, meaning green treasure. The National Zoo has a panda exhibit already from the grandparents and their cub. Now it is freshly remodeled and ready for its new guests.
Billionaire banker Eric Hovde has a plan for Social Security.
Do you favor either raising the retirement age or cutting benefits?
I favor both.
Raising the retirement age?
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Hovde wants to raise the retirement age as high as 72. And Hovde just proposed cutting Social Security by 28%, costing the average beneficiary more than $6,000 a year. Eric Hovde. What's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Maxwell White, done right. Maxwell White Plumbing proudly announces our first annual food drive in celebration of being in business for 30 years and our commitment to the communities we serve. From October 1st to 31st, we're partnering with the La Crosse Hunger Task Force. Donate while our professionals are at your home, at our West Salem location, or directly to the Hunger Task Force in La Crosse. As a thank you, get $15 off your service and we'll donate an additional $15 on your behalf. Join us in making a difference this October.
He thinks he's better than us. Derek Van Orden said, "I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman." So it's no surprise Derek Van Orden would cut Social Security and Medicare and give more tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. We earned those benefits with every paycheck, but Derek Van Orden thinks he's better than us. Don't let Derek Van Orden cut Social Security and Medicare. Your community PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks. But now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
Over the last few years, we've redefined what working remotely means, and so is the Ford F-150. Bring your desk wherever you go with a flat interior work surface. Drop down the tailgate to get it all done, and plug in what you need outside the cab with available Pro Power on board. How's that for upping your productivity? Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 2.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $9,900 in total savings on a new Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
I'm sick and tired of getting ripped off by career politicians. And Tammy Baldwin, she's one of the worst. Baldwin's in bed with Wall Street. While she sleeps in her girlfriend's $1 million condo in New York City, Wisconsin families are getting hammered by high inflation and handouts for illegal immigrants. Tammy and her girlfriend are living large while Wisconsin families foot the bill. Frankly, it's time for Tammy Baldwin to go.
I'm Eric Huffey, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Well, unless you've just joined us right now, most of you already know we have a freeze warning that is in play. Hence, I've popped up a an alert day for you just for till 9 o'clock this morning. Now, that being said, we're going to be seeing this freeze warning bring temperatures around 26 to 30 degrees out there, possibly, and that is for west and east central Wisconsin. So that means Eau Claire really is not in that, nor is Ladysmith, but they are colder than any of these local temperatures, so they still have the potential for some type of frost or some case or maybe an advisory. You're also going to be looking at the possibility of La Crosse in this now. Sparta, not so much. Voguefield, not so much, but you can see it all the way down to the south by Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. We'll also see the current temperatures widespread in the 30s right now. As you can see that for Sparta at 26, 34 for Black River Falls, 32 in Voguefield, Viroqua at 34, and down to the south, you're pretty much okay, holding on to those upper 30s. The average high and the low, you're looking at 57 to 62. The low here is usually 36 to 41 degrees for this time of year. In fact, you're seeing the clouds out there right now. We were holding on to overcast conditions. Clouds have broken off a bit. There's rainfall over portions of Lake Michigan. You can see it kind of moving in just a little bit there. As we go into it, we're not expecting a whole lot of rainfall. Maybe a trace up by Ladysmith, maybe a trace by Wausau, but you're going to see maybe 1/10 of an inch or so as you get into Oshkosh. By gosh, holding on to Eau Claire, you're looking at temperatures from 8 a.m., 35 degrees, warming up to 50 degrees by 2 o'clock. I'm still trying to get a hold of how this all plays out right now. This is something else. Partly cloudy skies. La Crosse looking at least the same, 36 to about 52 degrees. When I come back, I'll have more about this for you. Please stick around.
In your consumer news this morning, Microsoft reportedly settling an antitrust lawsuit. The lawsuit brought by gamers challenged its $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, maker of the popular Call of Duty games and others. The gamers had alleged in the filing the deal would limit competition and raise prices. The details of the settlement haven't been released. And Starbucks is cutting back on promotional offers through its mobile app to get customers to pay full price for its beverages. What? The move will also reduce the strain on employees, they say, who get flooded with work when promotions are advertised. In September, the coffee giant offered extra loyalty points on Tuesdays and deals on certain drink purchases on Saturdays. That was a shift from deeper discounts spanning many months earlier this year, such as half off and buy one, get one free. Something big is coming for Whopper and ranch lovers alike. Burger King and Hidden Ranch Valley, they're collaborating on a big dip cup, large enough for customers to dunk their sandwich or other food items in the ranch sauce. Oh, good idea. The big dip cup will be available in select cities starting tomorrow. Customers can track when and where they'll be available on Burger King's website. And fall is one of the best times of the year for travel, with lower prices and smaller crowds. Travel sites say this is also when you need to think about finalizing your holiday plans. Wendy Gillette, where is she today? She reports from a conference in Perth, Australia, looking ahead to upcoming travel trends.
Fall is the time to travel.
From leaf peeping to a tropical weekend getaway, fall brings travelers some of the best deals of the year.
Right now, we're seeing that fall airfare is very affordable.
Hopper says that breaks down to about $240 for an average domestic round-trip flight, 4% lower compared to pre-pandemic fares. Some of the best deals are to Charleston, Denver, and Miami, with round-trip flights averaging less than $100 from many U.S. cities. If you're planning to fly for Thanksgiving or Christmas, the travel site recommends buying now before Halloween.
Holiday prices today are at the lowest they're going to be, and availability is its best.
International flight prices have also dropped around 30% from their summer highs, averaging around $700 round trip to Europe compared to $1,000 just a few months ago. Lori Best, who has dual citizenship in the U.S. and Australia, took a long-haul flight from New York's JFK earlier this month.
I'm initially going to Singapore. That's about 19 plus hours flight, and then down to Perth in Western Australia.
Western Australia is a popular destination this month, the host of this year's World Travel and Tourism Council's Global Summit, where travel leaders discuss the state of the industry and future trends.
People are really looking for experiences. They're choosing, instead of to buy things, to actually go on travel and see things they've never seen before.
Tourists visiting Western Australia experience a diverse mix of sea, sand, including at the Pinnacles outside Perth, and sound. Travel throughout the entire country has almost recovered after the pandemic.
We're sitting at about 86% of where we were, so we've still got a little way to go, but we can see that milestone on the horizon.
It's really a pleasure to be here.
At the Global Summit, where former Secretary of State John Kerry served as a keynote speaker, it was announced that tourism this year is set to surpass pre-pandemic levels, accounting for over $11 trillion of global GDP, about 10% of the world economy, all adding up to a 2.5% boost for travel from 2019.
All right, some good news there. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:18. Let's check in with News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett for a look at our forecast.
Well, folks, Alexander, folks always tell me it's not that cold outside, Art. It's not that cold outside. You need to get used to it. And I'm just saying, well, give me just a couple of more months, maybe I can handle this. In fact, you're going to see Wednesday, we're going to keep that going tomorrow as well. Expected cold, well, it's going to be about 26 to 30 degrees out there. It's going to feel a lot cooler on your skin as well. We have a little light wind right now. But fortunately, this is going to be over by the time the real gusts begin to start up, where we'll see gusts up to 20 miles per hour. You're looking at current temperatures right now. You know what? I'm going to back up 1 second here. I'm going to go backwards, and I want to show you this again here as we go back into how this looks. There you go. The frost advisory. This is all widespread down to the south. Not so much for Eau Claire and Ladysmith. Black River Falls is out of that, as well as Vogue Field. Sparta is kind of out of that. But you still have the cold in these areas. Everybody's cold because it's all coming up from the north. That being being said, the current temperature is widespread in the 30s. We're also seeing the possibility of temperatures feeling like they're in the 20s, though, all the way up to at least 30 or 32 degrees in some cases. So it is cold out there. So you need to bundle up the kiddos. You guys know the drill. 33 degrees for Eau Claire for the kids going to school this early morning. And we're looking at least 51 degrees in the afternoon, similar to what you had just yesterday. Clouds are going to be at least partly cloudy skies. We'll do the same for La Crosse. Partly cloudy conditions, 36 degrees for your morning at 7 a.m., then picking up at least 55 degrees. I know our ICAST computer was saying, nah, it's going to be 51 degrees for yesterday, and we did a little bit better than that. But current visibility, you can see right here down by areas by Boscobel, 3 miles of visibility. This fog and low cloud activity is going to last until at least we get into the 10 o'clock hour this morning because it's so cold out there. That being said, the winds are going to stir up a little bit as we go deeper into the afternoon, and we'll see those winds up to 22 miles per hour, possibly up to 25 in some cases if we get lucky. In some cases down to the south, well, at least I don't want to say lucky, but you know what I mean. We're going to hold on to that. Then it begins to taper once we get into the early evening hours for your commute, so it becomes kind of close to at least less than 10 miles per hour. As far as the fall progress is concerned, this cold is going to help us out a bit. You're seeing at least all the way up in Eagle River, picking up all of that nice looking color there, Duluth and Eau Claire, as well as La Crosse, catching up. Well, we've got some dry striations out there, one down by the Gulf, one picking up as we go across Dallas, going to the Red River, right into areas right by Oklahoma, and then moving over to Memphis, Tennessee. Then another one coming up again as you go through Omaha, and that's going to continue all the way down to St. Louis and Cincinnati, and then well up above us, there's another dry slot, and that's kind of affecting us a little bit. We're also going to be seeing this big batch of moisture come in. It's going to be like a big punch coming off the west coast, and it's going to stir right up into areas right by up into Canada. There may be some split flow of that, and that could kind of get down a little bit lower, and that could affect us, and we could see that rainfall possibly get a little bit closer to home for us as we go into the weekend. Mild conditions tomorrow, but right now we're in the cool. As that waves out of the way, we'll get into that mild holding on with that cool punch coming in, eventually trying to get a little bit closer to us, but a lot of it begins to drift up to the north, and most of it drifts down to the south. We'll also hold on to conditions as we finish out going into at least the morning hours after sunrise and going into the mid-morning hours. You're looking at temperatures holding on to at least 42 degrees by then, so we start to warm you up once we get into the 10 o'clock hour. Back to you.
Thank you, Art. The time now is 6:22. Still ahead, a new Northwestern medicine study is saying researchers may have found a lead on a possible long COVID treatment. Coming up, we'll explain.
Coming up in the Blitz, battles on the volleyball court. Area teams getting ready for the playoffs, hoping to gain some momentum. Highlights in just a moment.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Liberal Rebecca Cook. She's cooked up quite a story about herself. The truth? Cook is a slick political operative who pocketed almost 200 grand electing Democrat extremists. Cook supported radicals pushing open borders, defunding police, and ending cash bail. No wonder New York radical AOC is spending big money to elect phonies like Cook. Rebecca Cook. A liberal recipe for disaster. Strategic Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland has made wishes come true for over 6 decades. Toyland is now open, and we have unbeatable celebration savings throughout the store. Like these Tomy vehicles, buy one, get one half price. Easy Heat fuel pellets, $4.99. Rewards members pay $4.69. And 1 pound bags of Blaine's jelly slices, $1.89 each. Plus, donate a new unwrapped toy to Kids Helping Kids, and we'll match donations up to $250,000. Don't miss Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland celebration going on now.
Kamala opened our borders and supported amnesty for illegal immigrants, making them eligible for Social Security and Medicare. Their open borders will bankrupt Social Security and Medicare, hurting American seniors. Senator Baldwin supports making illegals eligible for free benefits and voted for higher taxes on Social Security. Now she's lying about Eric Hovde again. The truth, Eric Hovde will always protect Social Security.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's window and door replacement experts. Our superior quality, energy-saving windows and doors from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen are skillfully installed by certified technicians and backed by some of the strongest transferable warranties available. Save up to 22% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. Brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
Racist and offensive. Ryan Hipsch's social media history tells us who he really is. In one post, Hipsch said that he wanted a hat with the N-word embroidered on it. In another, Hipsch aims a rifle and comments that he can't wait to kill Muslims using a slur. Then wrote, LOL, that was racist. And that's just the beginning. Hipsch's social media posts are full of degrading terms for women and people with disabilities. Tell Ryan Hipsch that his agenda is too extreme for the Cooley region.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul will be hosting the Minnesota Volleyball State Tournament in just 22 days. The final week of the regular season began yesterday. The Southland Rebels traveling to Mabel Canton as the Cougars looking to continue some conference domination. Starting off with some speed from junior Tyler Wentold, getting a deflection off a hard-hit ball. And the crushing hits would continue. Junior Kinley Soini is going to soar and come with the heat for the Rebel defense on a set from Hope Erickson. And later in the first set, Erickson makes her mark on the match one more time with a huge spike, making it 23-4. Set 2 would feel the same as Sahara Morgan. Back sets it to Erickson. She can get it done with deception as well. The Mabel Canton Cougars take it 3-0. The number 2 team in the conference, Spring Grove, in action as well last night, facing Lyle Pacelli. The Lions feasted in the first set 25-6. Senior Emerson Ingvalson with the soft touch to score early on in the second set. Lions would only soar higher as Emerson comes down with a cross-court spike from Sydney Holland to set up against the Shamrocks defense. Then 2 thumbs up there from Emerson. And more disciplined play from the Lions as Holland would set up junior Kylie Hamill as the defensive effort would not be enough to keep up. Huge spikes from Joelle Halverson and Jordis Neely late in set 3 would both be set up by Kendall Van Missel, launching Spring Grove over Lyle Pacelli 3-0 in dominant fashion. And Houston looking to pick up a win before playoffs begin, facing Kingsland. Nice diving save by Ellison Carrier in the back, which sets up Jaden Woodard and places it perfectly for the point. Then more good defense by the Hurricanes, leading to offense as Avery Evanson plops one in the back corner. Home side up by 4. Then another senior shining on senior nights. It's Emily Botcher winding up and firing, too hot to handle. But the Knights put together a late surge in the set to bring it closer. That block right there makes it just a 3-point lead for the home side. The very next play, it's Woodard with the big-time swing coming up. Hurricanes take the set, and the hosts pick up the senior night win in a sweep. And some more important late-season games and matches tonight, so make sure to tune in. Hello for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
From cozy breakfast nooks to formal dining areas, Ashley has versatile dining options that fit any space and style, starting at just $499.99. And receive a $250 mattress credit with the purchase of any 6-piece bedroom set. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WinSenate is responsible for the content of this message.
Get ready for the holidays and save money during our fall sale at Interior Designs Holman. All of our carpets are on sale. You'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimates in your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
We need real working people in Washington.
What a phony. Cook spent the last decade working as a political operative. Earned her money helping defund the police radicals like Mandela Barnes, the most anti-police candidate in Wisconsin history. Now, Cook won't let you protect your family. She wants to ban the most popular rifle in the country, earning an F from the NRA. Rebecca Cook, phony insider, dangerously liberal.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Does your child have sleep disorders, ADHD, ADD, speech issues, or mouth breathing? These are a few symptoms of a myofunctional disorder. If left untreated, it can cause disrupted sleep, TMJ pain, snoring, and other health problems. At Allen Dental, our myofunctional therapist will develop a plan to retrain the face, mouth, and throat muscles, leading to better sleep, mouth alignment, and nasal breathing, which has so many benefits for overall health. Contact Allen Dental today to schedule your appointment.
With Tammy Baldwin, we've gotten extreme policies that are hurting our families. Baldwin voted to let boys compete in girls' sports, and she co-sponsored a bill to force women to share locker rooms with biological men. Worse, Baldwin's bill would force domestic violence shelters to admit biological men, even though survivors say it would cause significant trauma for women in those shelters. Tammy Baldwin has endangered Wisconsin families. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Looking for a better night's sleep? Ashley Sleep offers 3 different mattress lines for every body, from soft, cloud-like comfort to firm next-level support. Or wake up on the bright side of the bed with a Nectar mattress starting at $7.99. Now available at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
In your morning medical news, a new study reveals a shift in opioid overdose responses. From 2020 to 2022, emergency services administered Narcan, an opioid antidote, to 744,000 patients, but EMS administered doses declined by 6%, while bystander use surged 43%. Study authors say this trend suggests more non-medical personnel are using Narcan, potentially contributing to the decline in reported overdose deaths. The antidote, available as a simple nasal spray, requires minimal training to administer. Researchers at Northwestern Medicine, who have studying the lasting effects of long COVID, say they've made a significant discovery that could lead to a potential treatment. Long COVID impacts about 1/3 of COVID survivors. Suzanne Lemignot has more.
Long COVID patient Kevin Tenney says he was first diagnosed with COVID-19 in January of 2021.
Had trouble sleeping at night.
Tenney took part in a study at the Northwestern Medicine Comprehensive COVID-19 Center.
I remember getting like those CT scans a couple times, and the Dr. Sala would say, you know, I was a little inflamed, some nodules, a thick bronchial wall. I think that's what caused all the coughing, I believe.
It was through lung CT scans like this that Tenney's doctor, Dr. Mark Sala, would learn scar tissue was forming in Tenney's lungs and in the lungs of other study participants. Lab tests showed a certain cell type was the driving force behind the scarring.
The implication here is that if you can find a drug to target these cells specifically, it might help prevent all of that downstream injury and irreversible scar tissue.
Sala is also the senior author of a paper involving the study of long COVID patients at the center.
This has, over 4 years, resulted in an incredible statement about post-COVID care, as well as many other diseases that involve pulmonary fibrosis.
Tenney says news his participation in the study could potentially lead to a treatment for pulmonary conditions means so much to him.
Just to be a part of something where we're learning new information that could help people in the future is great.
He's recovered from COVID 3 times since 2021 and said he's finally feeling better.
Dr. Sala says some patients still had the cells present in their lungs that were responsible for scarring even up to a year after the COVID diagnosis. While many enjoyed a day off for the federal holiday yesterday, Ultra Federal Credit Union employees turned their time into community service. Across the area, Ultra volunteers participated in the annual Ultra Gives Back Day. At Hamilton Elementary, crews worked in the school's food forest, a project run by Grow La Crosse.
It's just a nice way to give back to our individual communities and the areas that we live and work.
This marks the 7th year of Ultra's community service event, with over 25 teams dedicating their time in La Crosse. A new coffee shop literally dropped into La Crosse. 7 Brew Coffee brought in cranes to lower their modular building into the Goodwill parking lot on Mormon Coulee Road yesterday. This marks the national chain's 2nd shop in the area, joining another location in Eau Claire on North Claremont Avenue.
It's a drive-through only coffee shop. We do have a walk-up that will have a picnic table for sit-downs if people would like to sit, but other than that is going to be 2 drive-through lanes.
And there may be more locations coming to the city. According to a press release, the company says it's a major step in bringing 7 Brew to La Crosse. As you drive around parts of Iowa, you may have noticed some of the corn stalks are shorter than usual, and it's not accidental. It's actually a new breed of corn being used throughout the state. Zane Sautre takes a look at some of the benefits these shorter stalks are providing farmers.
To us, most things that are 90 inches or less, we would classify as a short stature hybrid.
Smaller stalks making a big difference.
We've had a number of wind events here in central Iowa the last 3 or 4 years, which have been noticeable. The derecho that occurred, and these hybrids definitely handle wind events much better than a conventional style, older style hybrid.
The lower profile plants got more attention after the 2020 derecho ravaged countless acres of crops across Iowa.
You know, when we had the derecho, we had shorter corn of ours, fields of it next to competitors' fields, and we were still standing and theirs went down.
The Steins also say more compact plants allow farmers to plant more seed, especially if they plant tighter rows, meaning a higher yield. The leaves from more tightly packed corn also block sunlight from reaching weeds below and can even better protect soils from heavy downpours.
Over the years, you know, we have like a heavy rain event. Well, when you've got canopy across that field, that keeps that rain from pounding on that ground and washing so much of your topsoil away.
According to Stein, farmers that adopt shorter varieties will need to adjust fertilizer and other applications on their fields, but the days of corn soaring high above our heads are likely numbered.
I think in the next 10 years, eventually, most everything you have out there will be a shorter statured hybrid from our company or any other company. I think it's inevitable.
In Adel, Zane Satry, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Time now is 6:37. Here is News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
It's actually really cold out there, and I'm not just joking about that. It is really cold out there, but I know we get much colder in the next few months. But take a look. We have a freeze warning that is in play. That is until tomorrow at 9 a.m., but at least the alert that I have going on for you is going to be done by at least 9 o'clock this morning. Temperatures are supposed to be between 26 and 30 degrees, and I want you to keep that in mind. It is expected. It's for west and east central Wisconsin. There's some other locations as you get into central and southern portions of Minnesota, as well as down to northeast Iowa. That being said, you can see where this all is. Not so much for Eau Claire and Ladysmith, as I mentioned before. Black River Falls not really in it. Some of our coldest spots are not even in this. As you can see, La Crosse is dead smack in it as well. But once you get into it, the current temperatures, they're still holding on to the 30s. We're not even down to at least the low 30s in some cases, or getting even close to it right now. So whether this is still lingers for us, it's something to keep in mind. For areas as you get down to Mason City, yeah, you're going to keep some of that, as well as portions of Red Wing. You're going to keep that, as well as Rochester. But for us here locally in this region, maybe not. So this also includes southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. As we get into it, the average temperature is usually 57 to 62 degrees. That's what will be a little bit cooler than that today. We'll also see that this is what our lows are supposed to be like, but you can see right now the temperatures are a little bit closer to this. That's what they were earlier this morning. So again, this may not last very long for this alert. All right, so back to you as we get into our local weather.
All right, La Crosse's newest outdoor paradise needs your help. Learn how you can explore and support 250 acres of community trails and nature after the break.
Fall savings are on now at Home Furniture. The more you buy, the more you save. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices. Right now, this two-piece modular sectional is just $11.99. Plus, get 60% off all fall and Halloween decor in the market. Hurry, don't miss fall savings now at Home Furniture.
Here in Wisconsin, my patients trust me with their personal medical decisions and never ask, what does my congressman think? That doesn't stop Derek Van Orden. Van Orden calls himself 100% pro-life, compared abortion to genocide. And Van Orden said he opposed abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest. Your personal medical decisions belong to you, not him. And Derek Van Orden doesn't belong in Congress.
HMP is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Sometimes a celebration means fireworks and loud music. I'll just tell you that I'm celebrating 35 years at the board store, 80 years on the planet, and my daughter Danielle becoming the new general manager of the board store. Let what's personal to me be personal to you with savings on your next home improvement.
Call for a prompt free estimate on windows and doors, on siding or gutters, on a bathroom or a kitchen, on a sunroom or deck.
Better products.
Better people.
Better prices.
The board store, improving your home, improving your life.
I'm sick and tired of getting ripped off by career politicians. And Tammy Baldwin, she's one of the worst. Baldwin's in bed with Wall Street. While she sleeps in her girlfriend's $1 million condo in New York City, Wisconsin families are getting hammered by high inflation and handouts for illegal immigrants. Tammy and her girlfriend are living large while Wisconsin families foot the bill. Frankly, it's time for Tammy Baldwin to go.
I'm Eric Huffey, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Eric Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
WinSenate is responsible for the content of this message.
Fall savings are now at Home Sleep Express. The more you buy, the more you save. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices on quality mattress brands Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Hurry, don't miss out on fall savings going on now at Home Sleep Express.
Well, good morning to you as we start out. It's pretty chilly to cold out there. In some locations you can see mostly kind of south of I-94. La Crosse is in the that says frost advisory, by the way. This is a freeze warning. You can see all this turquoise in there right now, and this is holding on. There is a frost advisory underneath all of this turquoise, though, and of course the temperatures are going to be around 26 to about 30 degrees if that holds on. As I mentioned just a little while ago, we noticed that as we get into the alert day today, that these temperatures are supposed to be about 26 to 30 degrees, and that's expected, but we're not seeing that right now. We're seeing temperatures holding on locally. You're seeing, except for Sparta, that is not in that freeze warning. You're looking at temperatures in the middle 30s, some low 30s up there. Eau Claire, they're not even in it either. So you get down to areas by Prairie du Chien and Boscobel, they're much warmer as well. For the exception of Boscobel now, they're actually in it. So we get into it now as we continue to cool on down. Temperatures are feeling like they're in the 20s and the 30s. Some locations are getting a little bit warmer right now. In fact, Eau Claire, as you're starting out for the kiddos today, you need to bundle them up though, because it is pretty cold out there for now. 33 degrees to start this early morning, and we have partly cloudy skies. You're going to get into at least by the afternoon though, 51 degrees. We'll do the same for La Crosse though, 36 degrees for your 7 a.m. start. Of course, you're going to need to bundle up the kiddos there as well, and then maybe give them a hat and of course jacket and some gloves as well. But by the time we get in the afternoon, you're looking at about 55 degrees. This fog, low cloud activity right now that's out by Boscobel, they're holding on to that, and a lot more areas are going to hold on to fog going into the 10 o'clock in the morning hours. But look at the winds. The winds are going to start to stir up as we get into 9 o'clock, and that's going to help to try to decrease that fog once we get into it. See it begin to pick up as we get deeper into the afternoon though, up to 22 miles miles per hour in some cases for La Crosse, so it's going to be pretty breezy. It begins to taper down gradually as we get closer to the 5 o'clock hour in this afternoon, and then eventually we'll see it kind of taper on down just a bit as we go into the wee hours of the evening hours. All right, that being said, 5 a.m. this morning, we pick up a little bit of cloud activity. We were overcast this morning, but that's backed off a bit, and now we're seeing a little bit of rainfall over there by Lake Michigan, so that's bringing in a little bit of sprinkles for Green Bay, a little bit of light rainfall for Oshkosh, excuse me, but you're seeing these temperatures not much change. We're starting to warm up a little bit more so. That being said, as we get into Tuesday, about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures in the widespread 50s for you, and then that continues on as we go right into the latter portion of the day. That being said, there's a look at the rainfall continuing to move on, and as we roll over here, we're looking at the possibility, well, of conditions to be like this. Not much in the way of rainfall for us, so that's not going to affect us as far as the frost and the fog, and of course, the freeze warning is concerned. We'll see as we go into Friday the possibility, and Saturday the possibility of rainfall moving into the picture. It's still kind of working its way a little bit closer to us, but once we get into Monday, that possibility starts to move in, and we could see some rainfall coming in for Monday, possibly lingering into Tuesday. Highs today, we're looking at 40s and 50s in there as well, and then eventually we'll go into the next few days. Tomorrow we warm you up, throw in some more some sunshine for you, mild conditions around 61 degrees. Then we get into temperatures going in the upper 60s, and then we warm up well above seasonal average temperatures. Those 70s roll back into the picture. Maybe that shower for Saturday, but definitely possibly popping in by Monday, going into Tuesday, where temperatures are in the middle 70s, and then we cool you on down by Tuesday.
All right, Art, thank you. Well, a new outdoor space is taking shape just outside of La Crosse, and this weekend you have the chance to be part of its exciting launch. The Outdoor Recreation Alliance is kicking off fundraising efforts for the Community Trail Farm. That is a massive 250-acre project designed for recreation, education, and environmental stewardship. We're joined now by Jed Olson, Executive Director of ORRA, to tell us more. Good morning, Jed. Thank you for being here.
Hey, good morning. You're welcome.
We've heard a lot about this. Very excited for us. What should we know about this project?
Yeah, so the project is really just it's going to be a fantastic park.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it. Now, it's not a publicly owned park like many of them are. We're working through a public-private partnership. Outdoor Recreation Alliance will own and manage the property, but it's going to be open to everybody, and it's really going to align with our mission of building a happy, healthy, resilient community by providing great spaces for people to explore and spend time outside.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, that's looking ahead. So what can we expect for this weekend for this celebration?
Yeah, well, I'm no weather person, but I think there's not going to be any chance of rain, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend for us. Perfect fall weekend to get outside and really explore. We're inviting people out to the farm to really explore the space and dream with us and really start to understand how impactful and how amazing this can be. It's this beautiful farm on the edge of town, but it's so close to everything, and it's got all these little pockets of topography and geography and habitat spaces. So it's like a wonderland of outdoor experience. So this weekend you'll be able to come out, and there'll be some exploration, guided hikes, historical interpretation, some live music, just an overall celebration and adventure weekend.
Yeah, that's great. What I love about Wisconsin is, you really lean into the farm. So pizza farms, a farm park, I love that. I love using the space like that. And you have mentioned some funding has been secured. How close are you to the $6 million goal, and how can community members help?
Yeah, we're at about the halfway line.
Okay.
So we have a really broad organization. We've got all sorts of rabid fans everywhere who love what we do. So we're launching into the public phase here at the halfway point, and in order to make a contribution, you can make a one-time gift. You can pledge it out over a little bit of time. You can make a gift of stock. You can even we can engage in planned giving as you're thinking about your estate in the long-term future. So there's lots of different ways that people can make financial contributions, and the big thing that we always lean into is that just sharing the enthusiasm and the dream with us is a fantastic way for people to help us advance the project forward.
Okay.
So 15 miles of a park, but can you tell us a couple of trails or different types of trails that you have?
Yeah, we're really blessed with amazing topography in this area. So we've got the ups and downs everywhere all over the place. But sometimes that can actually be a hindrance on people. So if you don't have the motivation or the physical ability to be able to go straight up or straight down the bluff, the great thing with this space is that we'll have lots of what we call meandering trails. So places where you can walk 2 by 2, have a great conversation, lots of places to sit and be contemplative. as well as having those amazing views when you get to the top. You know, we've got about 500 feet of elevation on the property. Used to be a ski hill. It was the first ski hill in the area, and it's got great views across the valley. It's got a wonderful trout stream running through it, so there's all sorts of different things, and we think that there will be a place for everybody here.
Yeah, okay, great. And so you guys talk about, you know, 3 kind of tenets: recreation, education, and environmental awareness. So quickly before we go, how does the park, you know, how is it going to emphasize those things?
Yeah, so really we want it to be, we want people learning everywhere they are in the park. So whether that's through interpretation, through programming, or just through exploration, learning about yourself. Then obviously recreation is a big thing that we're all about, is you gotta have fun.
Yeah.
You gotta make time and make space to enjoy yourself, to slow down from screen time and the digital world and step outside. And then really that environmental stewardship is, the way we see it is people don't care about the places they don't know about. And so we need more people learning about and spending time in nature and remembering all the benefits that time in nature can bring to us. And with that comes that engendered ownership of the planet and our environment around us.
Okay, great. Well, Jed, thank you so much for being here and giving us this update.
Thank you both.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
My name is Bill. I am retired. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I live here in Wisconsin. I am not a political person, but Derek Hovde doesn't understand how important Social Security and Medicare are around here. I'm on Social Security, and Hovde said he absolutely supported cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Imagine working longer, paying into the system, and then poof, you're paying your bills with less. He knows it. Cutting Social Security and Medicare will cost us. He just doesn't care.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this message.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure. With power you can count on. Capability that doesn't compromise. A hard-working EV with more range than any competitor. And the potential to take you anywhere. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado. Visit HometownChevy.com.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks. But now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
Get ready for the holidays and save money during our fall sale at Interior Designs Holman. All of our carpets are on sale. You'll save money and get more for free. Free measuring and estimates in your home. Free furniture moving, even that heavy couch and king-size bed. Free removal of your old carpet and padding, and we'll recycle it. Free life of carpet labor warranty for as long as you own the carpet. All at the lowest prices of the year and 12 months no interest financing. Save money and get more for free during the biggest carpet sale of the year going on now at Interior Designs Holman.
He thinks he's better than us. Derek Van Orden said, "I don't give a f who you are. I'm a congressman." So it's no surprise Derek Van Orden would cut Social Security and Medicare and give more tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy. We earned those benefits with every paycheck, but Derek Van Orden thinks he's better than us. Don't let Derek Van Orden cut Social Security and Medicare. Your community PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Welcome back. It's 6:53. Time for your morning news now. Former President Donald Trump campaigns in Georgia and Vice President Kamala Harris in Michigan today as the candidates continue targeting battleground states. Both made appearances in Pennsylvania yesterday, the first time they were in the same state at the same time since their debate last month. New CBS News polling shows the race virtually tied in key states. Minnesota Governor and Vice Presidential candidate Tim Walz hit the campaign trail at UW-Eau Claire yesterday as Democrats zero in on Western Wisconsin's youth vote as crucial Senate races and the presidential election loom. Young voters stand pivotal for Democrats. Among likely 18 to 29-year-olds, Harris leads Trump by a staggering 31 points. The challenge, though, is turnout. Historically, only half of this age group show up at the polls.
We think when more people vote, that's a better thing. When more people get access to the ballot box and when more people are engaged, then your government looks more like the people they represent and we get better policies.
Schimming fired back in a statement, slamming Walz as an out-of-touch Vikings fan trying to cover for Harris's weak record. U.S. Senators Tammy Baldwin and Amy Klobuchar invited voters to a meet and greet in Trempealeau County. The pair stopped at a family-owned farm in Osseo as part of Baldwin's Working for Our Families tour. They emphasized the stakes of the upcoming election and the importance of Western Wisconsin's votes, while also addressing plans to fight for women's reproductive rights and battle inflation. Baldwin says rising prices especially impact those who rely on Social Security.
I was raised by my grandparents. I saw at an early age the meaningful difference that Social Security and Medicare made in our family's lives. And I will promise you that I'm fighting to make it stronger and solvent for generations to come.
Baldwin is one of the candidates participating in debates this week. She'll face off against GOP candidate Eric Hovde on Friday in Madison. State Senate District 32 candidates Brad Pfaff and Stacey Klein will face off at UWL tomorrow. Both of those debates will be broadcast on 8.2 and streamed online.
All righty, for folks that are heading on out, if you haven't watched me already today, it's cold out there right now. Temperatures in the 30s widespread right now. And we're going to see that is a weather alert day going all the way into the 9 o'clock hour. Why? Because we have a freeze warning in play. Temperatures 26 to 30 degrees out there, and there they are. Of course, you can see pretty much all of that turquoise out there. You're going to see maybe some of this cold will help us out as we go right back into the next couple of days, and then eventually we'll hold on to the possibility of temperatures warming up gradually as we go through midweek and beyond.
All right, well, a Minnesota farmer is claiming victory of the 51st Safeway World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off. The champion's massive gourd tipped the scales at 2,471 pounds, barely edging out the runner-up just by 6 pounds. This marks the farmer's third consecutive win, though it fell short of his own world record set last year. The prize is a championship ring and more than $22,000, calculated at $9 per pound of pumpkin. Next stop for the gigantic gourd is Los Angeles, where it'll be carved by professionals. Yeah. Wonder how many people it takes to carve that thing.
I know, right? I told you Half Moon Bay has skills.
Apparently, yeah, that's where it's headed. All right, well, thank you for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Tuesday.